Okay, now can you hear me? Oh, great. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. I just replugged it in. Can you hear me now? It looks like it's working. Okay, I'm getting some thumbs up. I'm thinking that people can maybe hear me. Oh. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I apologize for that. All I had to do was unplug the thing and plug it back in, and now it works. So I don't know why that wasn't working, but anyway, we're working now. So this is going to be a bit of this is going to be a little bit of a different presentation. This is not the same presentation that I've done before, and give me a second here because all right, you should have. All right, now that I had to do that, I messed up my PowerPoint. So let me find my PowerPoint. Okay. Should be able to see this. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, let me know. Where are you from in the chat? Tell us. Let me know where you are, what you're trying to do. This is, this can be a little bit different presentation than what I typically do. And if you do have any issues or anything, just leave a message in the chat if something happens and my sound goes out again. But I've got my sound levels up and it looks like I'm okay. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit different than what I've normally done. Normally when I get on these things, I talk about legal issues predominantly. And but today is going to be a little bit different. Today I want to talk to you really about building an online business generally and how legal fits into that from the standpoint that I think it's holding a lot of people back. But I'm going to get more into that here in a little bit different. I see that Once Upon Me is from Peoria. Oh, cool. And I've got Thon Tran here. Carlos is here. Jim Morgenstern is here. Mike. Mike Wallen. So excited to have you all here with me today. Anyway, so I've got some of these things are going to be slides, and then I'm going to just kind of go back and forth between slides and talking with you and taking the slides down. And so it's going to be a little bit different than a normal. This is not a typical webinar, and to be perfectly honest with you, this is it's not a typical webinar. So let's get into it. So you're probably taking way too long to start and grow your online business. A lot of you that are watching, that might be why you're here. And this is an issue that I see from a lot of people that are in my membership community, people that I have as clients, a lot of people that I deal with. They just are taking way too long to start and build their business. And some of them, and a lot of times people are not necessarily aware that they have one of these issues. They either don't have a profitable idea, maybe they don't have a product. Now, let me just go back. They don't have a profitable idea, but they think they have a profitable idea. There's two different things there. They don't have a product yet. They don't know where to start. And then there's always the legal stuff. Legal scares you, and I get that from obviously a lot of people. So there is a better way. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Today I want to talk to you about how to find that profitable idea fast, how to get your product to market even faster, and how to get your first sales from your online business in 30 days, regardless of the legal hurdles that you may have to face. So how is this going to work today? So basically the way this is going to work is, and I apologize, these are my kids, and the reason I brought this up is because this is a slide of them. Every Christmas, they wait on the stairs while my wife and I get coffee and get something to eat and get ready for the joy that is to come when them opening their Christmas presents. My middle child there, Henry, looks kind of like a demonic child waiting to open his presents. He's like the sweetest child in the world, though. So anyway, so how this is going to work today is I'm going to go through some intro slides here, and then I'm going to do more teaching on the camera. It's going to be more face-to-face. And I'm gonna talk to you about some subjects that I think we need to really go through and talk about today, and then I'm gonna take some Q&A, and then I'll go back through those topics, another topic, do some Q&A, go back through another topic, go through some Q&A. That's basically how this is going to work. Now, quick warning: I am a lawyer. So what does that mean? That means a couple things. It means, number one, that I'm not going to be providing any legal advice on this presentation today. If you have questions and you would like legal advice, you can call my firm, and we'd be happy to schedule an appointment for you to meet with me virtually over Zoom, and that would be fine. But if you have questions, don't post them in the chat, like legal questions, because number one, I'm not going to answer them. Number two, you're putting that question out there publicly in case somebody else would see it that maybe you don't want to see it. So you're giving up attorney-client privilege by doing that, because I'm not your lawyer anyway. And the other thing I'll say about that is I sometimes try really hard to talk without getting into a whole bunch of legalese. Sometimes I can't help myself, though. I mean, I did go to law school. I have been practicing law for almost 20 years, and sometimes I just can't help it. But I'm going to try my best not to do that. So today we're going to talk about, here's what we're going into, how to get started fast with your online business. So we're going to talk about the number one strategy that you need to think about for online business success. We're going to talk about number two: when you're struggling, you need to stop doing this. And we're going to talk about what this is. And then third thing we're going to talk about is the best way that you can guarantee your success. Now, in about an hour, it might be a little sooner, it might be a little bit later. I'm not really sure. I've never done this presentation before. We got started a little bit late because of microphone issues. But regardless, in about an hour, I am going to make a brief presentation about my... I'll make an offer to you to go even further with me if that's something you're interested in doing. But is everything cool so far? If everything is cool so far and I've still got people listening, feel free to leave a comment below and just says, yeah, that's cool. I'm good with that. All good. All those type of things. That would be great. So then the other question I have for you today, just right now, like, what is slowing you down in your business? Like, what is an issue that you're having right now? It could be a legal issue. It could be something else. Tell me what is slowing you down. Leave a comment below. Hopefully you're watching this from someplace where you actually can watch this. But just let me know what is slowing you down in your business. And it might be you're blogging too much. It might be, you're wasting time on social media when you should be doing something else. It might be that you're confused about some of the legal aspects of starting your business. It might be, there could be any number of things. What is it that's keeping you from moving forward? I would love to hear that. So, and I do recognize, I think there's a little bit of a delay between when I talk and when you get things in the comments. So leave some comments below and just let me know that people are with me here. The other question I've got for you is, maybe do you feel out of gas? Do you feel like, discouraged that, you've been trying so hard to build this online business and you just feel like you're not getting any traction and you're just exhausted? Let me know if that is something that is a problem for you, because that happens to a lot of us. I can tell you right now that happened to me probably 8 or 9 years ago when I was getting up every day at 4 a.m, working on my business, working on doing blog posts, posting on social media, doing this, that, and the other, and just not getting anywhere. I wasn't making any income from my online business. It was really frustrating. And then after all that was done, I went to work. I ran a law firm. I ran the law firm all day. I came home. I'd see my kids for a little bit. They were a lot smaller then. And then I'd go back to work and repeat the whole thing. And it was incredibly demoralizing. And there was a time when I thought, this is just not going to work. This is never going to happen. And if you can relate to this, I would love to hear from you. Just leave me a message in the comments. I appreciate the thumbs ups. But that's how I was feeling. Like, that's what was going on. And this was, probably 2014, 2015. I mean, I don't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore. I still get up early. I don't get up that early. I'm too old to do that. But anyway, that's. Let me know if you're struggling with any of these issues. Is it possible to speed up your success? Well, I would say it is, and it took me a really long time to learn these things, and this is what we're about to talk about here as we get into this. I think it is possible to speed up your success, and I think there's very specific strategies that you can use to start moving things along faster. And when I started to do these things that I'm going to share with you today, that's when my business really started to take off. But here's the problem. It's really hard to take that first step when you don't see the whole staircase, when you don't know where you're going or what's going to happen. Sometimes it can be really scary to take that first step. I remember when I was back in college, somebody shared with me a story of, when people are going through all through life, we're just really riding a big trapeze. And you're riding a trapeze, and you've got ups and you've got downs. And then way off in the distance, you see another trapeze, and you really want to jump for it. But there's this chasm between you and the other trapeze, and you're so scared to take that jump to get to the next trapeze that a lot of people just stay on the same trapeze their entire lives. And they just go up and they go down. They've got highs, they've got lows, but they don't really take that step to move to the next trapeze. And that's where I see a lot of online entrepreneurs having issues with their online business. So what I want to talk to you about right now is the first false belief that I see people make with their online business. And I'll be honest with you, I just don't have, I've got some slides made, but I don't have enough slides made for the whole presentation. When I decided to do this yesterday, I got through, the first part of them yesterday, but couldn't get through them all. So we're going to do this without going through slides. And some of you might like that better. But anyway, the first belief that I think is a problem is that people think that they can build a business around something that they love. And there is a problem with that. And the problem with that is a lot of times what we really love and what we really enjoy and that we would love to build a business around is just not something that is going to be profitable for you. And so the secret, what you really need to know, and going back to, let's see here, let's see if I can do this. Going back to, let's see, this slide right here, let me find it, is, the number one strategy I see for online business success is you got to come up with a profitable idea. I mean, when I was first getting started, I tried selling marketing services to lawyers. Now, mind you, there's a lot of people out there that are selling marketing to lawyers. I mean, it is an industry, and it is a big industry, and lawyers spend a lot of money on marketing experts, on marketing software, on leads, on all sorts of things. I know, I'm a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for 20 years. They market to me all the time. And I have built 2 successful law firms over the course of about 10 or 12 years, and multiple 6-figure law firms, and things were going really well. And so I thought, well, I can teach other lawyers how to do this. That'd be great. The problem was I picked the right customer in being a lawyer, and they had a problem. They wanted to build their law firm, but I didn't have the right solution. And potentially I didn't even have the right customer because I was going after lawyers who were just starting out who had no money. And so that is a problem. So I had an idea. It was what I think would be a good idea, but it was not a profitable idea because I wasn't going to get lawyers to spend the money to hire me to help them with that. And I did not have a good solution. My solution was that the lawyers would be doing a lot of the work, and the lawyers, that's not the best way to build a business. Now, again, this came up when I started selling my Lock It Down Legal Toolkit, which was originally called the Online Business Legal Toolkit, last spring. Now, yes, we had a successful launch. But the people that I was focusing that initial toolkit on were people that were just starting out, which again is fine. That there's no problem with that. These are people that have issues, and maybe you're listening to this and you're just getting started with your online business. But the problem is you're trying to learn about online business. You're trying to figure out if you're doing things correctly legally, but a lot of times, if the legal is all you're looking at, that's not a strong enough pain for people to spend money on that. So there was a cap at how much I could charge for that course, and it's because the people that were just getting started with online business, which are the people that I really want to help, are just not there yet. And the people that were there, who are making multiple 6 and 7 figures a year, they're just going to hire a law firm. They don't need the product that I was offering. So it's all about coming up with a profitable idea. That's the number one thing I can tell you if you're watching this and you're trying to figure out, well, what can I do? How can I build an amazing business? It all starts with that idea. And so you might have heard what I was talking about there, but if you didn't, let me go over it again. There's 3 phases to that. You have to have a customer that makes sense for you and for your business. You have to have a product or solution to their pain, and they have to and it has to be the right solution for them. And so, there's the story in the marketing world that you have to have a starving crowd, right? That's the best way to, if you want to go out and sell, hot dogs from a stand. Do you go to a street that has, just a little bit of traffic on it during the middle of the day when everyone's at work? Or do you go to a club when there's a bunch of, crazy drunk, 20-somethings coming out of the club at 2 o'clock in the morning? Where do you think you're going to sell more hot dogs? Probably at the club. So you need to go someplace where people have a burning pain, where it's a starving crowd, and you need to make sure that you can actually provide a service to those people. And so that's the first thing that I want to tell you. The second thing, and before I get into anything more, before we go to the second thing I want to talk about today, is let's open it up a little bit to some Q&A and see if anybody has any questions about anything. I'll give it a little bit. Feel free to drop it in the comments and let me know if you've got questions about anything I've talked about so far with regards to your business. And again, understanding that there's a little bit of a delay, I will take a sip of water while I wait for some questions to come in, and then we'll get into. If there is no Q&A, that's fine. We'll just move right ahead to the next thing that I want to talk about. So, nothing. You guys are a tough crowd today, but that's okay. I'm good with it. It's a Friday afternoon. I mean, I probably could have picked a better time to do a webinar like this. I should have done it yesterday, but oh well. Okay, so let's get into the second thing. And so the second false belief, if you will, that I get from a lot of people, this is a lot of students that I work with, again, a lot of my clients, is they're really I got a question from Prophetic Perspective. My LLC is in Texas, and I live and work in California. Are there any changes I need to make the organization? Yeah, I'm not answering questions like that. I will answer questions about what we're talking about today, but again, this is not for me to. I'm not giving any legal advice, and that would be on the guidelines of legal advice. So unfortunately, I cannot help you with that. Joshua says, I have questions. I'm just on a bus. That's fine. When you get off the bus, post some questions. So the second thing I want to talk to you about today is where I see a lot of my clients start. Now, they might actually have a pretty good idea, but then it comes to the next step. And the next step, and this is why they're struggling, is and tell me again if you can relate. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you can relate. You're blogging, you're podcasting, you're doing YouTube videos, you're posting on social media, you're posting on Instagram, you're doing stuff on TikTok, you're doing all these things, and you've got a great idea. But what are you not doing? And the thing that you're not doing, and where I see so many people make mistakes, is they're doing all these things, but they're not creating a product. And they're not creating a solution. They're trying to really hard to build an audience, which is not it's not a horrible thing to do if you've got the funds to do it and you've got time. But it takes a long time to build an audience, especially if you're doing it organically and not using paid traffic. And if you're using paid traffic, then you really need to find a way to convert those people into paying customers as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you're just basically throwing your money away. And so that's the second belief that I see people have, is that they really just need to build this audience. And once they build this audience, then they're going to be good to go with their business. The problem is, how many is too many, right? Or how many is too little? Is an audience 100 people? Is it 1,000 people? Is it, 100,000 people? How many people do you need an audience before you're ready to start testing your business idea? You need to get going testing your business idea. And so that's secret number 2. If we go back to this slide here, when you're struggling, when I see people struggling, oftentimes, it's because they're wasting time or effort or money on things other than building a product and trying to get people to buy it. That's the most important thing that you can do as a business owner. Assuming you've got a profitable business idea that you don't have to convince people to buy too hard. I see people struggle with the other things, and this is where legal comes in. And this is what I see from a lot of people who have been in my online business legal toolkit, who've been on the coaching calls with me, who have joined my new membership that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, is I see people, they focus on the legal too. And now it's not bad to focus on the legal. It's very important. It's something that you need to consider. But it takes like a couple $100 and maybe an afternoon to get your LLC set up. So why are people getting bogged down on setting up an LLC for, a month, 2 months, 3 months? I see people literally, they're like, well, I need to set up my LLC. And then I go back to them a month later. I'm like, where are you at? So you got your LLC set up? Oh, no, I haven't set my LLC up yet. But you don't need to be wasting time with that. If you're serious about business, you form the LLC and then you move on to the next thing, which is building a product and selling the product. So if you're struggling, that's the second bullet point there. If you're struggling, stop wasting time on social media, blogging, all those things. Those things are very important. Don't get me wrong. They are important. It's important to be building an audience. It's important to be interacting with people that are potentially your target market. But you need to get going in building that product. And Joshua says it's because they don't know or research the step-by-step process. That may be so. And that's, again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute, Joshua, if you can stick with me. As we get kind of into, and let me just tell you, my experience, like this is what I did, and it was easy for me because I had a law firm that was basically supporting me. So if I got in my mind, I wanted to be successful with my online business, but if I was too successful with my online business, then I would have to give up my law firm, which is like my identity, right? That was hard. There's some things going on, in my life right now that I'm going to be talking about over the course of the next several months, and things that are going on with my law firm that are going on over the next several months, but I can't talk about it just yet. But it'll be very clear why I'm making this transition to do more and more and more with online business, because I've all of a sudden got this freedom to do that, and when you have that, you just need to focus on building that business, and that means building a product that people can purchase. And when I launched that online business legal toolkit last year, let me just show you here. Let me see. So eventually I did get around to launching, and let me just show you a couple things here. The first time I launched my online business tool toolkit, I made $7,300. If I had never launched it, it was an idea I had for years that I never launched. I never would have made that money. The first time I launched it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. I made like less than $1,000. I think I either refunded all the money or I did consults with everyone and just kind of walked them through everything, because there were only like 2 or 3 people that signed up. And then most recently, a couple months ago, I launched my contract store online, and it went live on September 5th, and in the first 30 days, hold on a second, it made almost $2,600. And so this is what happens when you do go ahead and launch your business. You just have to get out there and build that product and start giving it out to people. Or are you doing it backwards, building that audience without a product? That's the wrong way to be doing this. So, let's see here. So going back to, you will reach success faster if you focus on developing your profitable idea first. You gotta come up with a profitable idea and get that product to market as soon as possible. So, going back here to this slide. So let's talk again about, what is the third thing that the third false belief that I get from a lot of people is that you can do this all yourself, that you don't need any help. And I will tell you that over the years, there have been many times when I tried doing things myself. The way this typically works, especially at a law firm, is you hire a paralegal or a legal assistant or an associate or somebody like that to do work for you. And they end up making a lot of mistakes. And at first you're like, okay, they're learning, we'll just bear with them. And then they make more and more mistakes. And eventually you get to the point where it's like, okay, well, I can just do this myself. Why am I spending all the money on them? And then you let them go or do something, and you do it all yourself until you're swamped again, and then you go out and hire somebody. And that's the way it works. That's the cycle. And the issue here is that that's the wrong way to look at it, because you really need to have a community of people to help you. I found over the years, when I tried doing things myself, I made less money. My revenue would flatline or decrease when I tried to do things myself. But when I hired coaches, when I hired assistants, when I got some staff on board, right now I've got 3 contractors working for me and a bookkeeper. So I've got 4 people working for me. When I hired coaches and got involved with mastermind groups and went to events and invested in myself and talked to other communities of entrepreneurs, that's when my income went up. And so the secret there is, the best way to guarantee your success is to surround yourself with people who can help you. And I don't mean that they're like actually in your office helping you. What I mean by that is you have people that you can reach out to and ask questions of and talk to when you have problems. And that you can run ideas by and say, hey, here's what I'm doing right now. Here's I'm really struggling with this. How do I get past this? And if you think that, and podcasts are great. Podcasts are free. It's a great way to learn and get, and get information that you need to try and implement into your business. And YouTube videos are great. I appreciate everyone that watches the videos on my channel, like this one. That's great. But at the end of the day, sometimes you need to invest money into yourself to make your business move forward. And so that's what I want to kind of leave you with here today. I'm happy to take some questions. Like I said, I'm not going to be answering legal questions, but I think, and I guess I can quickly transition into kind of what I was going to share with you. So if it's all right with you, I'd like to kind of tell you a little bit about my membership that has changed. So, and just comment on the thing if that's something that you'd be interested in hearing, and I can tell you a little bit about it. I don't actually have a slide, but I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen here back to me. And Once Upon Me says, people who actually know how to add value. Well, hopefully that is me. I hope I add value. If I don't add value, then I don't know why you're still watching. So if it's all right with you, I'm just going to kind of go through my membership and kind of what has happened and how things have transformed and how things are changing in my business moving forward. Basically, for about the past 18 months almost, I've been working on this online business legal toolkit. And a lot of you maybe have heard of this. If you haven't, then, welcome to my channel. And this is where we talk about these type of things. And the struggles I have with that. Now, I've had a lot of people go through the program. We've had over 300 people go through the program. But I wouldn't say that it has been a roaring success. It's been good. It's definitely been good. And it's made me some money. And I'm happy about that. But it's what I found is that the people that were going through the program were running into these hurdles, and they're running into hurdles like they don't have a profitable idea. I felt, I'm not their business coach per se. They're hiring me as a legal coach to help them understand what legal problems they were having. But I would talk to people, and some of them I knew they didn't have a profitable idea. I knew it was something that they were really struggling with. And, as a coach, it's not really my job to tell them that's not profitable. It's my job to help them understand where they come up with the idea that this is not a profitable idea. And that's what I've been working on, trying to learn how to do. So that was an issue. I see problems where people are literally, like I said before, going months between coaching calls. So we do coaching calls every single month, and we bring on subject matter experts about I try and do it every month. It works out to about every 6 weeks or so. We bring on subject matter expert calls to talk to my students. And what I've noticed through those calls and through those Q&As and all that stuff is that the people were getting the legal stuff. They were getting all that down, but they just weren't getting the business side of it down. They weren't focusing on the things that were going to drive their business forward. Now, some of them were. I've got some students that are doing really well. They're starting to make some serious money with their business, and they're sharing those success stories on our coaching calls. Because every time we do a coaching call, we start out by talking about wins. We talk about, what have you done since last month when we talked? Tell me about a win that you've had in your business, and we get people to share that. And so it's a really great, encouraging community of people. But I see, again, other people that are just really struggling, that haven't really moved the needle. And it's because a lot of them are either not, they don't have any, they're not investing in themselves in any other type of business building course that's teaching them how to build an online business properly, or they're in a course that's maybe overpriced and just isn't giving them good value, or they just don't know where to turn or how to get that advice. And so what I opened up to them, and we started it as a membership program about in July. In the beginning of July, we switched this over to a membership program. And last month I asked them, I said, hey, what if, rather than continuing to just talk about the legal stuff on our coaching calls, what if I open it up and created more training that talked about how to build your online business? And then we did 2 coaching calls a month, one where we talked about legal stuff and one where we talked about business building strategies. And what if we made the focus of the group, the how to build this online business, build, grow, and then also protect your online business. And the response I got from people about that, about changing the program into that, was universally, yes, please, let's do that. It was great. That's what I've done, and that's what I'm building. And so right now, for people that showed up here today, and until tomorrow, I'm going to shut this down. I'm doing a little mini promotion. So basically what you get with this, and I don't have a good way to share my screen. I don't have a slide that shows all this information, but You get the Lock It Down Legal Toolkit. It's about $1,000 program. You get, which is my normal training that I've been giving to people. You get my LLC startup training, which is an additional $297. You get a number of my legal drafted templates, which are over $2,000 value. You get 2 monthly coaching calls with me every single month, which works out to around $7,000 a year. You get subject matter expert calls with me, where I bring in people like I brought on Rick Mulready, came in and talked earlier this year. I've brought on Brittany McBean, who is a fantastic copywriter, to talk to our group. I brought on other lawyers. We have a lawyer coming in to talk to us later this month about systems development and processes and systems in your business. And I brought in a lot of people. So I bring on a monthly, like I said, about every 6 weeks or so, we bring on a subject matter expert. We brought on a PR expert, Gloria Chow. And then we also have access to community forums, and these are areas where you can go and ask questions and get feedback from people. Right now it's in a Facebook community, but we're in the process of changing it over into a closed forum community. That was something that people asked about, because some people don't necessarily like having all their information on Facebook. They want to do it in more of a closed format. So we're transitioning everything over into more of a closed forum type of format that'll be available. So the total value of all that, I don't know if you're keeping track. Oh, and then the last thing, obviously, is my online business blueprint that I'm building. Now, that is the reason why I'm giving a discount now on all of this, is because we're still building out the online business blueprint. So I have two contractors that work with me, and they're in the process of transitioning everything over to Kajabi, and we're in the process of building all that new training on how to build and grow your online business in the Kajabi platform. And so when I launch that, if I were to launch that on a standalone product, I'd probably launch that for about $2,000. I think it's worth at least that. I've seen lots of other trainings that give this type of information for significantly more than that. But anyway, you add all that stuff up, and it's about $20,000 worth of value for all that. If you go on my website right now, you'll see it's worth $2,997, and that's the annual plan, or $297 a month. I'm going to give you a link, and let me just put it in. I'll put it in the comments. I think this is right. HTTPS. There's a link. hawthornelaw.net/October. And that link is good for $2,000 off the annual plan, or $200 off the monthly payment. So you can get in $97 a month right now, or $997 for the year, and basically save 2 months. And that is the program that I'm offering right now. I'm not going to keep that up very long. That promo is probably going to go away, like I said, either tonight or tomorrow. I just recently switched over to a different payment processor, and I'm still figuring out how to turn off promotions at a certain time. So that very well is going to go away soon. But anyway, I'm happy to answer any questions you have about it. I see Renee's asking a question about an LLC. Like I said, I'm not going to be giving advice or guidance on the legal stuff here on this presentation today, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have about what I'm doing with the program, the membership, where we're going, why we're doing it. I tried to explain a lot of that here today, but so feel free and shoot. I'll go as long as people ask questions. If people stop asking questions, then I'm probably going to hop off and go home and have a glass of wine or something with my wife. She's actually she's going out of town for a few days next week, and leaving me alone with the kids, so which will be a lot of fun. So what questions do you have? And I recognize this is on YouTube and not really a webinar format per se, but I thought I would do it this way anyway and see where people are at. anything? Questions? Let me see. Oh. I think. All right. I'm not seeing any questions come up, so we're probably going to be cutting this off short. Again, I recognize 3:45 on a Friday, probably not the best time to be doing this. I'm going to try and do it next week. It's going to be tough because, like I said, my wife will not be around to help me, so I need to figure out a time to do it when it's when I can do it around the childcare. But I haven't figured that out yet, so we might have to skip next week. We'll see. But I love doing these. I love getting on and talking to people. I'm not seeing any questions, but yeah, if something comes up, if you've got questions and you would like to reach out to me, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to support@hawthornelaw.net. Thank you so much for being here today, folks. This was a lot of fun. And Deanna says, I'm sorry, my live notification didn't come on until just now. Can we review the offer like a 2-minute elevator speech, please? Yeah, basically, what I'm doing is I've transitioned my toolkit that was previously a $1,000 product, and then it went up to about $2,000 into a monthly membership. You get everything as a monthly membership. But what I've done is, as opposed to focusing solely on legally protecting your online business, I'm adding a ton more value. We're adding a new community component with forums, and we're adding another coaching call. So now there's 2 coaching calls a month. One is going to be focused on the legal aspects, and one is going to be focused on business building. And then there's going to be a whole nother module built into the course, a whole nother training around building and growing your online business. Because what I found is that a lot of my students, they just did not have the experience or the know-how to build a successful business. And they were using the legal aspects of building their business as a crutch that kept them from actually growing. And so, like, you don't know what to do legally, or you don't know what to do from a business standpoint. So, well, I can go set up an LLC and take 3 months to do that when it should just take you an afternoon. And that's what I was seeing from a lot of my students. So I reached out to them and I said, hey, what if I added a lot more training around building an online business, building your own membership community? Is that something you'd be interested in? And the resounding feedback was, yes, please give us this. And so now I can help even more people. I can provide even more value. And rather than asking people to spend a lot of money that they don't have, they get it for a low monthly rate. And if you join today, it's only $97 a month or $997 for the annual plan. So hopefully that was a quick 2-minute elevator speech, Deanna. Hopefully. I like your rose. Yeah. So, any other questions? I see the numbers starting to dwindle. Again, like I said, and then once you go to, let's see here. If you go to, I will see, let me see if I can do this. I'm just looking to see if I can figure out a way to pull up. That's not right. Oh. Okay. So if you go to all right, so if you go to that page, here we go. All right, so you should be able to see it now. It's going to take you to this page. Hopefully you can see that. So you'll get immediate access to our Lock It Down Legal Toolkit, a $9.97 value. You'll get the Online Business Blueprint, $19.97 value. Like I said, that'll be available in November. The LLC Startup Training, Lawyer Drafted Legal Templates, 2 monthly coaching calls, subject matter expert calls, community forums, and private Facebook group. Total value only $9.97 a year or $97 a month. So hopefully some of you will join us on this. Would love to have you. And I am going to go ahead, go back here. So anyway, Deanna says, there's a time delay for the messages. Yeah, I figured there's a time delay for the messages. So anyway, that's it for today. I think we're coming up at the top of the hour. This has been great. I apologize I did not have more slides for today. Next time I do this, I'll try and build out some more slides. But this is fun. I like doing this, every couple weeks. I don't know when I'll do it next, but hopefully some of you will choose to join us in the membership. It's called if you didn't catch it, it's called Online Business Foundations, and that's what we do. We're providing you with a foundation for your online business. We're providing you with the business foundation that you need, as well as the legal foundation that you need. And I think that this program is really unlike any program that's out there right now, because I know for a fact that nobody that is teaching online business is also teaching you about the legal aspects, and I know that there's no lawyers out there that are teaching a program like this either. So hopefully you join us in that. I'm going to hop off right now, and let's see. Oh, it looks like we did get Renee signed up for Online Business Foundations. Awesome. So glad to have you, Renee. Yeah, excited to welcome a new crop of people in. Like I said, I'll leave this sales page up. Billy says, all good, too many ideas. Yeah, well, one of the things that we're going to teach you about in this program is how to whittle down those ideas so you have one idea that you can focus on. That is a problem that I see. Heck, listen, and I will tell you, okay, I'm going to go for a few more minutes. So I recently hired an OBM. Now, an OBM, for those of you who don't know, is called an online business manager. And basically their job is to take everything that's in my brain and put it on paper or in the computer. And that's a problem. So you, Billy, are probably just like I am from that standpoint, is we're what's called, if you've read, and I don't have it down here with me, but there's a book called Traction. There's by Gino Wickman. It's also called, there's another book he's got called Rocket Fuel, and he explains his entrepreneurial operating system, or the EOS system. And he says the hierarchy in business, there's a visionary and there's an integrator. The integrator is like the person that puts everything together and connects all the dots and creates the systems and does all those things that make the business run. The visionary is the one that comes up with all the ideas and is like usually a really good salesman and all those things. I'm a visionary from my business. Like, I've got all these ideas about what I want to do, and I just hired an OBM who's coming in and being like, Jim, let's tone it down. We're going to focus on this, and this, because that's the way it is. That's for entrepreneurs. That's the way it is. That's the way a lot of us are. And and so it's refreshing also for me, because now I know we're focusing on, this one thing. So I had, before I brought my OBM on, I probably had, products out the wazoo. Now we're focusing on really two products. We're focusing on the membership community, and we're focusing on the template store, and that's it. And that's all we're doing. I do have some clients with my law firm, but like I said, I'm focusing on the membership and the template store. And the most important thing to me about the membership is making sure that the people that get in there, that join our membership, that we develop that community as much as we possibly can. I want to give the people in that membership as much value as I possibly can, to help them reach new heights with their business. And my hope is that they'll just continue to grow, and we can just continue to help them and provide value in different new and unique ways. So we'll see how it goes. But that's the plan. That's the vision. That's what I'm trying to do. I appreciate all of you. I am going to hop off now. Let's see. I am going to hop off. It has been great to do this today. Thank you so much for being on with me today, and have a great weekend. And listen, hey, if you're watching football, go Browns this weekend. Go Buckeyes. I'm a big football guy. So have a great weekend, folks, and we will see you on the next live presentation.